Hello, bacho. Let's read the question. So the question says, read the passage given below. The UN's 2017 International Year tells that sustainable tourism is an important tool for development, most importantly in poor communities and countries. Today, sustainability, environmental, social, and economic, is increasingly recognized as the benchmark for all tourism businesses. As noted by the UN World Tourism Organization, 57% of the international tourist arrivals will be in emerging economies by 2030. The various tourism terms are defined as follows. Now, ecotourism, responsible travel to natural areas that conserves the environment socially and economically, sustains the well-being of local people, and creates knowledge and understanding through interpretation and education of all involved, including staff, travelers, and community residents. Ethical tourism. Tourism is a destination where ethical issues are the key driver, example social injustice, human rights, animal welfare, or the environment. Geotourism. Tourism that sustains or enhances the geographical character of a place, its environment, heritage, aesthetics, culture, and well-being of its residents. Pro-poor tourism. Tourism that results in increased net benefit for the poor people in a destination. Responsible tourism. Tourism that maximizes the benefits to local communities, minimizes negative social or environmental impacts, and helps the local people conserve fragile cultures and habitats or species. Now, sustainable tourism. Tourism that leads to the management of all the resources in such a way that economical, social, and aesthetic needs can be fulfilled while maintaining cultural integrity, essential ecological process, biological diversity, and life support systems. Now, based on the data collected by a survey by Travel Bureau, the following market profile of an ecotourist was constructed. Age 35 to 54-year-old, although age varied with activity and other factors such as cost. Gender 50% female and 50% male, although clear differences based on activity were found. Education 82% were college graduates. A shift in interest in ecotourism for those who have high levels of education to those with less education was also found, indicating an expansion into mainstream markets. Household composition, no major differences were found between journal tourists and experienced ecotourists. Party composition, a majority, 60% of experienced ecotourism respondents stated they prefer to travel as a couple, with only 15% stating they prefer to travel with their families and 13% preferring to travel alone. Trip duration, the largest group of experienced ecotourists, 50% prefer trips lasting 8 to 14 days. Expenditure, experienced ecotourists were willing to spend more than journal tourists, the largest group, 26%. Important elements of a trip, experienced ecotourists, top 3 responses were wilderness setting, wildlife viewing, hiking, trekking. Motivations for taking next trip, experienced ecotourists, top 2 responses was enjoy scenery, nature, new experiences, places. Now, on the basis of your understanding of the passage, answer the question given below. The World Tourism Organization of the UN, in an observation, shared that option A, emerging economies of the world will gain 57% of their annual profits from international tourists. Option B, countries with upcoming economies shall see maximum tourist footfall from all over the world in next decade. A large number, option C, a large number of international tourists in 2030 will be from developing countries. And option D, barely any tourists in the next decade shall travel from an economically strong nation to a weak one. अब बच्चों आंसर करने से पहले हम लोग ये पैसेज समझते हैं. इस पैसेज को अगर हम देखें तो बहुत थ्योरेटिकल है, बहुत नॉलेज दे रहा है ये पैसेज हमें, राइट, बहुत नॉलेज दे रहा है. तो ये पैसेज यूएन 2017 इंटरनेशनल ईयर में लिखा गया था, विच वाज टू एस्टैब्लिश दैट सस्टेनेबल टूरिज्म एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टूल है फॉर एनी कंट्री टू डेवलप, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली इन पुअर कम्युनिटीज एंड कंट्रीज. अब जैसे जैसे ये चीजें बढ़ रही हैं उसके बारे में ये इन्होंने डिफाइन किया हुआ है कि व्हाट इज इको टूरिज्म, व्हाट इज एथिकल टूरिज्म, व्हाट इज जियो टूरिज्म, व्हाट इज प्रो टूरिज्म, व्हाट इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल टूरिज्म, व्हाट इज सस्टेनेबल टूरिज्म. और एक डेटा कलेक्ट किया गया बाय ट्रैवल ब्यूरो जो मार्केट प्रोफाइल को रिसर्च कर रहा था ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ एज, एजुकेशन, हाउस होल्ड कॉम्पोजिशन, पार्टी कॉम्पोजिशन, ट्रिप ड्यूरेशन, एक्सपेंडिचर, इंपॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट्स ऑफ ट्रिप, मोटिवेशन फॉर टेकिंग नेक्स्ट ट्रिप. तो अब अगर मैं इस क्वेश्चन पे आऊं, विच इज द वर्ल्ड टूरिज्म ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ द यूएन इन एन ऑब्जर्वेशन शेयर्ड दैट, अगर मैं यहां पे बात करूं कि एज नोटेड बाय द यूएन वर्ल्ड टूरिज्म ऑर्गेनाइजेशन 57% of the international tourist arrival will be emerging will be in emerging economies by 2030. तो ऑप्शन कौन सा सही होगा? ऑप्शन ए, इमर्जिंग इकोनॉमीज ऑफ द वर्ल्ड विल गेन 57% ऑफ देयर एनुअल प्रॉफिट्स. ये नहीं लिखा है. 57% ऑफ इंटरनेशनल टूरिस्ट अराइवल्स लिखा है. दैट्स वाई इसमें कंफ्यूज नहीं होना. ऑप्शन ए को हम रिजेक्ट कर देंगे. ऑप्शन बी पे आते हैं. Countries with upcoming economy shall see maximum tourist footfall from all over the world in the next decade. Yes, हम लोग ये ऑप्शन चूज करेंगे, which is countries with upcoming economies shall see maximum tourist footfall all over the world in next. एंड हम ऑप्शन सी को इसलिए चेक करेंगे क्योंकि उसका कोई सेंस ही नहीं बन रहा है. लार्ज नंबर ऑफ इंटरनेशनल टूरिस्ट इन 2030 विल बी फ्रॉम डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज. तो ये तो कहीं लिखा ही नहीं है. ऑप्शन डी भी हम रिजेक्ट इसलिए करेंगे क्योंकि barely any tourists in the next decade shall travel from an economically strong. ये तो बिल्कुल कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी स्टेटमेंट है. सो द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज ऑप्शन नंबर बी, which is countries with upcoming economy shall see maximum tourist footfall from all over the world in the next decade. I hope you understood it well. Best of luck.